Great to see you. Welcome back to Toronto. You're always a welcome resident here. You know that.
Thank you.
Okay. What an amazing movie this was. And I think maybe you took the role because the guy's name was Spike?
Of course. And I thought about a moustache. The two of those things together, I was in.
It always works. But seriously, did you know a lot about this story? I mean, it is amazing to me that it's based on a real thing.
Yeah, I didn't really know. And then it is a sort of fascinating thing. But then when you actually think about it, the special forces, I'm sure there's an enormous amount of stuff that goes on that we have absolutely no idea about.
So what kind of
we shouldn't.
Yeah, and we shouldn't exactly. Better left unknown. Did you do a lot of prep work for this? Did you read the book?
But also we had an essayist guy who'd been in it for 30 years and was now retired, and so he was just a pool of information. Really, he sort of went through the script thoroughly to check that it all made sense and it was all right, and it was just fascinating picking his brains, really.
Yeah, it's a little bit different for you. Did you find it a really good challenge?
For me, it was all about playing, somebody who's ex-special forces. Yeah. The idea of what happens afterwards. I found that really fascinating, and I've met a few, and I know a few, and it's a very hard thing to do, to be that highly trained, to have risked your life in such intense, extraordinary situations, and then to try and live a reasonably normal life after it.
How can you?
No, and every day you're in the supermarket looking around thinking people have no idea what I've been through, you know what I mean? And the only people who do are the people who are out there with you.
Yeah, amazing story. Okay, kicking butt opposite Jason Statham. I mean, we know that you can kick butt with the best of them, but dude, going up against him, are you insane? How on earth did you guys, that chemistry?
No, it's great. I mean, I enjoy doing that stuff, and he's so great at that stuff. So it's, it was a pleasure to do those things with him.
Tell me about just that one scene in that hospital.
Yeah.
I could watch it 100 times and probably not see the same thing over and over. How did you guys choreograph that?
It took a long time. You have to put the work in. We went, and I sort of, every day there was a whole area that was just a stunt team area, and you turn up and you loosen up, you get ready, and you start working the fight through and developing it and making sure there's no holes in it, that it's totally believable and that the rhythm and the moves are right. And then you work it up, and you do it slowly to begin with and work it up to sort of performance speed, and then by the time you come on the set, you've done a hell of a lot of work already.
2 words, Robert De Niro, masterclass. I mean, you've worked with some good people here, but Robert De Niro?
He's one of the best ever in my book. He's in the history of movies. He's up there with one of the best actors there's ever been.
Just amazing to see this cast, really. Intruders, you've got another film at the festival. Can you tell me a little bit about that? That's a scary movie.
It's a kind of, strange psychological horror it's directed by a guy I was a huge fan of called Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, who did 28 Weeks Later, and this very cool Spanish film, Intacto. It's a very unusual film. It's kind of a horror, but it's a sort of very interesting, unusual one.
What did you see in that script that you said, I gotta go with this one?
I was a big fan of the director, but it's kind of how parents pass on their fears to their children, and it's not quite what it seems. You're sent down a road when you think that something's happening, and then you start to question, hang on, maybe this is a bit stranger than we realized.
Yeah, amazing. I know. I pass a lot of my fears to my kids. I have to say. It's not good, and it's not healthy. Congratulations on this. You really, if I see you in the street, please don't kick my butt, because I know you can. But that's okay too, actually. No problem. It was great talking to you. Thank you, Clive.